Do you ever think about what happens after we die? Are we resurrected? Do we start another life? It has been a huge question mark to almost everyone because no one has ever provided a solid answer to this question. But did you know that philosophers and scientists are now providing theories and evidence to prove that there is actually another life after life? In today's video, we will be digging into the classic question: is there life after death? As a child, we may have been told that people become stars after they die. Some may have also heard that people get reincarnated. But let's move beyond beliefs and take a look at the evidence that proves the afterlife. Firstly, let's talk about the paradox of clinical deaths. A clinical death occurs when the heart stops pumping oxygen, which results in all other organs in the body shutting down. Research suggests that after the heart stops, the brain still has about 10 to 15 minutes before shutting off completely. In fact, recent researchers have concluded that brain cells may take hours or even days to slow down after the heart stops. Dr. Sam Perina at the New York University Langone Health is currently working on finding evidence that proves that the afterlife exists. According to him, you don't need millions of brain cells to be in a conscious state of mind. When someone is declared to be clinically dead, their consciousness still remains with them. Once the heart stops, everything else in the body slowly stops working. With modern medical practices like CPR and defibrillator, sometimes death can be reversed as well. A lot of people were brought back through these activities after being declared clinically dead. So, can it be said they are living in the afterlife? Because technically they were once dead, and this is their life after death. But what happens when no medical practice and no technology can bring you back from death? Einstein's theory of special relativity says that nothing can go faster than the speed of light. Now, you may wonder how that is connected with life and death. With this theory, Einstein changed the now we live in. According to him, we are all not sharing the same now, which means that time does not move in the same way for everyone. Let's take an example. You're waving at your friend who is sitting on a bus. Now, as the bus starts to move, you see lights blinking at both ends of the bus. Now, if someone asked you if both these lights blink at the same time, your answer would be an easy yes. But if you were looking at the same lights from your friend's perspective, who was on the bus when the lights blinked, she may see the light from in front of the bus earlier than the one at the end. So her answer may not be the same as yours. This is how you can define the relativity of time. So simply put, the concept of now actually depends on the observer. You can't say that your friend was wrong and you were right just because you saw the lights blinking at the same time. You both were right because those were your own observations. With this theory, he introduced a new concept called the block universe concept, in which all three of the past, present, and future coexist similarly. So, the past in which a person was still alive exists in the same way as today. They probably live in their present, which cannot be acknowledged. We know that we cannot communicate with a person who is dead, and that is because their consciousness and thinking capacity stop functioning. According to some physicists, when a person dies, the information that makes up that person's consciousness disperses throughout their body and gradually disperses throughout the universe. I am aware this sounds unbelievable, but maybe in the future this information can be accessible. Now, let's talk about the AWARE study. The Awareness During Resuscitation study was published in 2014 in a journal called Resuscitation. The study started back in 2008, and this initiative involved more than 2,000 patients from all over the United States, the United Kingdom, and Austria. All these patients were cardiac arrest survivors, or you could say were declared clinically dead, which means all of them had their hearts stopped for different lengths of time. All of these patients were interviewed once they were brought back to life. 46% of those patients were able to report memories. The researchers then categorized all of these memories into 7 themes: memories of fear, animals and plants, violence, family, a bright light, deja vu, and the events that occurred after their cardiac arrest. Apart from these 7 types of memories, 2% of those patients, about 30 people, revealed their awareness of their surroundings as well. They could remember the doctors working around them and trying to restart their heart. This was shocking because when the heart stops, the brain stops functioning within 30 seconds of it. Soon after the AWARE study, a study from Berlin, Germany was brought to light where allegedly 900 people were put to a technical death under medical supervision for almost 20 minutes. The results showed that those people formed out-of-body experiences during that 20-minute time frame, which they reported to researchers when they were brought back to life. However, this study was not published in any verified journal, so I know it can be hard for you to believe it. However, if the results were indeed correct, then this research could also serve the same purpose as the AWARE study. If none of this has captured your attention, let's talk about some real-life examples. If a person is dead, this means that they can't remember anything after their heart stops. Because once the heart stops pumping oxygen, the brain can't transmit signals from the other body parts either. But contrary to that, a lot of people who have faced clinical death claim to have lucid memories in their minds. Let's take a look at their experiences. On January 3rd, 2014, Nancy Rhines was out on a bike ride when her bike hit an SUV, and she ended up being severely injured. After being in the hospital for 3 days, Nancy had to undergo surgery. During the surgery, for a brief time, her heart rate went to 0 and her breathing stopped. "I found myself waking up," Nancy reported in one of her interviews. She found herself around a beautiful hillside. Surrounded by flowers, mountains, and trees, she found herself feeling a sense of peace. She felt confused because she was an atheist and she didn't believe in the religious perspectives of the afterlife. And she heard voices welcoming her when she was trying to make sense of her surroundings. She heard someone tell her that this was her home and that she was welcome there. Nancy said that instead of feeling panicked, she felt at peace. And then, when she was brought back to life, her perspectives changed almost immediately, and that one brief experience impacted her life forever. 22-year-old Trisha Barker felt like her life ended when she had a near-fatal car crash. She ended up breaking her back in 3 places, and she was told that she might not be able to walk again in her life. That did something to her. She told her doctor that they had to operate on her because she might do something to herself if she was not able to walk again. In an interview, Trisha said that her death was the last thing on her mind. She was worried about her classes and other things, but she did not think about death, even when she was told there was a 17% chance of death during her surgery. And then she saw herself popping out of her own body. She remembers herself being in the hands of the surgeons. In that space, she felt no pain or stress. She was simply at peace. She felt a light path coming from behind her doctors, and she reported that those light beams assured her that she was fine. According to Trisha, she felt like she was in some sort of spirit form where she could easily move. She came out of the operating room and saw her family there. She even floated in the night sky during that time. Soon, she was brought back to life, but this was something she had never forgotten. So, is this the afterlife, where the brain cannot limit our consciousness? Looking at all these logical reasonings, we believe there is indeed a life after death. What do you think? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. See ya!